doing this shit from Cleveland to LA, nigga. What? Nigga, we doing this shit from Cleveland to LA. Nigga, we doing this shit from Cleveland to LA.
Okay, so we played that yesterday. Again, that's that Tupac song that came out after his death. It was on the Bone Art of War album. And I want to go over what's so interesting about this in light of the LA Rams being in the Super Bowl. They're hosting a team that was once in Cleveland, like from Cleveland to LA, and especially in light of the year of Odell Beckham, big star player in the NFL, one of the league's top stars, being traded from Cleveland to LA on his 29th birthday. Remember the 5th of November, the day leaving 56 days left in the year, and then ending up in Super Bowl 56. We covered this yesterday, some of the things that are interesting. I want to show you a few more because I looked at this more closely and it really blew my mind. And again, for all of you guys who really like the Rams to win the Super Bowl, again, the Rams have a great shot. Obviously, they're the favored team. I'm going to show you a few things that might make you like the Rams a little bit more. And if you took the Bengals, you know, if you guys missed my Patreon live stream yesterday, I gave some great strategies that potentially turn $5 into over $100. That's my favorite way to gamble. You don't risk too much to potentially make a couple weeks' worth of grocery money. And, you know, if you miss, it's like, oh, well, I'll just skip my cup of coffee tomorrow, and I got my money back that I lost on the bet. But anyway, check this out. Again, from Cleveland to LA, like Odell Beckham, like the Rams. If you did not know, the Rams franchise, first of all, they're named after the VCU Rams. Every year in the Super Bowl, it's so funny what goes on in college basketball the night before the Super Bowl. If you have the eyes to see, you can see just how rigged the games are. The professional Rams are named after the VCU Rams. Again, it's the Rams' 85th season, National Football League's 85. Last night, the VCU Rams won with 85 points. Remember, the Rams finally beat Tom Brady. They gave Tom Brady his 85th career loss, and then he retired. Tom Brady, who did all his damage against the Rams, his career ends against the Rams. It comes full circle. Anyway, check this out. The Art of War, the album, the Bone album, came out on July 29th, 97. Hilarious. That's International Tiger Day. Now we have the meeting of the Bengal Tigers, led by Joe Burrow, the LSU Tiger, versus the Rams, who have a number of LSU Tigers on their team themselves, including Odell Beckham. And number 77, their big lineman for the Rams, he spent the majority of his career with the Bengals. The last few years he's been with the Rams. He's also an LSU Tiger. So this Art of War album came out July 29th, International Tiger Day. Now these teams meet in the year of the Tiger. And just wait, there's so much to this. Bone's sequel to this album, The Art of War, World War III, released on Joe Burrow's birthday, December 10th, 2013. And not only was it Joe Burrow's birthday, it was his 17th birthday. 17. Such a special number. Remember, Ohio is the 17th state. Bone Thugs-n-Harmony represent Cleveland, Ohio. And Ohio, the birthplace of football, remember in Gematria, in the most pure cipher, Ohio equals 29, football 29. Odell Beckham was traded from Cleveland to LA on his 29th birthday. But Ohio has never won a Super Bowl despite having two teams. They got the Browns, who have not won a championship in the Super Bowl era. They got the Bengals, who are 0-2 in Super Bowls. Just like the Rams are 0-2 in Super Bowls in their years of being in LA. As a franchise right now, they're 1-3 in Super Bowls. They won it when they were in St. Louis, Super Bowl 34 over Tennessee. Tennessee equals 34. The Rams beat Tennessee. And you know who beat Tennessee this year? Joe Burrow beat Tennessee this year. And remember, Joe Burrow and Kurt Warner are from the same area of Iowa. And, of course, the Kurt Warner movie American Underdog came out this year on Christmas. But, okay. The follow-up to the Bone album came out on Joe Burrow's 17th birthday. And I know you guys saw the Kodak Black shooting in the news at the Super Bowl party, 17 weeks from his birthday. 17 weeks from his upcoming birthday, dead on the nose. And it was supposedly Justin Bieber's party. The shooting came 17 days before Justin Bieber's birthday. And realize all this stuff is just BS, you guys. Kodak Black has a new album coming out. He just put out a song, The Nightmare Before Christmas, where in the music video he's wearing Bengals gear throughout the whole video. You notice the whole world of celebrities wearing Bengals gear right now. But, and don't forget, Joe Burrow's the new Billy Cannon. Billy Cannon's best career game as a pro was on December 10th in history, 35 years to the day of Joe Burrow's birthday back in 1961. Anyway, the world of entertainment, so scripted, predictive programming, all this stuff planned out decades in advance. The same stuff I'm saying every year, because every year when this stuff rolls around, you can look at it and say, wow, they had this planned out for a long time. So, if you don't know about Art of War, because again, the Tupac song is on Bones' album Art of War. Art of War was supposedly written by Sun Tzu, a Chinese military general. But the problem is, Sun Tzu's just like Jesus Christ. There's no historical record that a Sun Tzu ever existed. And of course, the Catholic Church, which is the reason we know of Jesus, the Son of God, started out as a pagan sun cult, and it really still is. That's why it worships on Sunday, the same day that football games are played on. But there's no historical record a Sun Tzu ever existed. The only reason that his name is even known is because a Jesuit priest, Father Amiot, supposedly translated his work and called it Art of War. So Art of War is known because of the Jesuit order. The same Jesuits that are responsible for this nation we live in, pretty much the nations of the world, the National Football League. Again, what do they play for in the Super Bowl? They play for the Lombardi Trophy, which is named after what? A Jesuit, Vince Lombardi, who died unexpectedly at Jesuit Georgetown and was educated at Jesuit Fordham, next to where the NFL league office is. Anyhow, Art of War in Gematria is 102. What NFL season is this? It's the 102nd NFL season. Art of War 102, when you run the alphabetic order the other way, World Wars 102. And this number shows up in war history in a million different ways. The American Civil War began April 12th, 1861, the 102nd day of the year. FDR, who got us into World War II, died on what day in history? He died on April 12th, the 102nd day of the year, 1945. The most recent world war, the war on germs, comes out of Wuhan, China, like Sun Tzu, right? Guess what Wuhan, China equals? Wuhan is 67, China's 35, 67 plus 35 is 102. And then they gave us the social distancing 102. And then GlaxoSmithKline and Pfizer took over the world. The two most sued pharmaceutical companies in the world that are both headed by Jesuits. Literally the two most sued companies in the world that merged exactly 102 weeks before their vaccine was approved to fight Wuhan coronavirus. So 102, just a big long history with this number, a phrase we've been using through the whole pandemic, social distancing 102. And again, that's the war on humanity, Stand so far apart and muzzle your face and have no connection with any of the people around you. Even be scared of your own family. That, again, it's military strategy. And over the years, the Jesuits have become a lot more clever. They realize they don't just have to blow people away with guns and cannons and bombs. There's all sorts of ways to fight wars and conquer people, like with television sets. Anyway, 102. Isn't it funny? Here we are in the 102nd NFL season. And again, in light of Art of War being translated by a Jesuit, remember, the formal title for the Jesuits is Society of Jesus. The less formal title is Jesuit Order, where Society of Jesus is 56, Jesuit Order is 54. In Super Bowl 56, we have the Bengals representing in their 54th season. And with regards to the Rams' 85th season, the most pure Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, equals 85 in that same cipher. The Jesuit logo is the sun with IHS in it. Remember, sun with the most simple cipher is 54. If you write out the Art of War, which is also fair, if you put a the in front of it, it's also 54. So the Art of War releases on International Tiger Day. Now we have the Bengals, the Bengal Tigers, in the year of the Water Tiger. Water Tiger's 54. in the Super Bowl, facing the Rams, a team loaded up with LSU Tigers as well. And again, not only did the Rams get Odell Beckham this year, born on the day, leaving 56 days left in the year, they got Von Miller, who's born on March 26th, 26/3, like 263, the 56 prime. Same day in history, Eazy-E died by the numbers. But again, 102nd NFL season, the 17-game season. Ohio, the 17th state. Bone, their album, representing the 17th state. And like I said yesterday, why would owners ever agree to a 17-game season? I could understand agreeing to a 16-game season like we were on, or a 14 before that, or had they jumped to an 18-game season, I could understand all that. But I can never understand a 17-game season in a league where teams were actually compared about having a fair, advantage, a fair level playing field. There's no way it's fair when you got to play 9 road games, or if you get lucky, you get 9 home games. Half the league this year had 9 home games and 8 road games. The other half had 8 home games and 9 road games. Where is that fair? That's not fair. Why would you ever agree to that? Again, it's because the owners don't give a shit about wins and losses. They all share profits. The entire league shares profits. It doesn't matter if the Cowboys made way more in merchandise sales than the Carolina Panthers. They're all going to share the profits at the end of the year. It's all just one big, circle jerk in the NFL. And with regards to the Jesuits and Odell Beckham getting traded on November 5th, the same day as the Travis Scott concert, which was in front of a stage that was a cross, that was the anniversary of the Machiavelli album coming out. And now Tupac's going to be part of this Super Bowl. The album that came out after his death, him on the cross like Jesus, the Society of Jesus. Machiavelli equals Tupac equals Jesus equals cross equals Messiah equals gospel equals parables. Again, he died on September 13th, which is Caesar Borgia's birthday. Caesar Borgia is who white Jesus is modeled after. The physical description of Jesus in the Bible wouldn't lead you to think he was white, but, it'd lead you to think he looked like Tupac if he had some more hair on his head. But, okay, and again, in case you missed yesterday's video, the hologram, the Tupac hologram, it first emerged at Coachella, April 15th, 2012, exactly 513 weeks before the Super Bowl. That's the Cincinnati area code, 513. What are the odds of all this? What are the odds of all these things being so perfect? And it debuted on April 15th, which is the 105th day of the year. Cincinnati Bengals is 105. And again, Tupac died in 96, the year Joe Burrow was born, who now represents Ohio. He was with the Ohio State Buckeyes for a brief moment before he got sent to LSU the day Billy Cannon died. But again, 96 is a big potential number in this Super Bowl. And again, Mary J. Blige, Queen of Hip Hop, Soul 96. You want to know another 96 that's on this one? If I drop... whoops, I got to write the year of the Tiger. If I write out the year of the Tiger, it's also 96. Isn't that interesting? But don't worry. It's not over for you Rams fans. I'm going to show you something real interesting about the Rams narrative. There's great narratives going both ways. This is a tight Super Bowl. You got to just decide which Tiger is it more about. And again, Mary J. Blige going to be performing her big song where Dr. Dre did the beat. Family Affair, where Dre wears the 34 Shaq Diesel jersey. The next Super Bowl, the next quarterback to win the Super Bowl will be the 34th. Is it going to be 34-year-old Matt Stafford, or is it going to be Burrow, who went to LSU like Shaq, whose name equals 34? Remember, they evacuated the Cannon building in D.C. on Joe Burrow's 56th day of his age, which was the 34th day of the year, and the Cannon building's named after a man who went to the University of Cincinnati. And again, Joe Burrow's the new Billy Cannon. But either you got 34-year-old Stafford becoming the 34th QB to win the Super Bowl, or you got Burrow, who is Mr. 34. And again, the Super Bowl is going to be on Mary J. Blige's 34th day of her age. They just did a remix of Eye of the Tiger with Tupac rapping over it on this soundtrack called Turbo, which has the same gematria as Tiger in 3 ciphers. And If you guys go to Joe Burrow's Instagram post right now, you'll see that he has 135 total Instagram posts. His next is 136, and I've been talking about Joe Burrow in 136 since before he was in the NFL and why he was getting drafted into the NFL on the 136th day of his age as the new Joe Montana. That's the 16th triangular number. The name of that song, the remix of the Eye of the Tiger with Tupac's called Eye of the Tiger, Holla If You Hear Me, which equals 136. If you do the gematria on Joe Burrow's 135th Instagram post, which is the last one he's made right now, it also equals 136. And again, his next career win is 16. Is he going to be the new Joe Montana, number 16, who won Super Bowl 16 over the Bengals? Is he reversing the Bengals' fate? Or is it going to be, is it going to be more sadness for the Bengals? But again, it's just Tiger Mania right now, you guys. In the year of the tiger, remember, Queen Elizabeth is a fire tiger. Queen Latifah has a new movie out called The Tiger Rising. Gwen Stefani's dressing up as a tiger. She's looking like a big Bengals fan on the stage this weekend. And Lil Wayne representing NOLA, where Joe Burrow won the Battle of the Tigers, LSU over Clemson. He's doing the Bengals thing everywhere. His whole Instagram's nothing but him in his Bengals jacket. Carson Palmer, the Heisman winner for the Bengals, who couldn't get it done. He's in hot water right now. Keep in mind he played at USC in LA, where the Super Bowl's at. Denise Richards, who got with Charlie Sheen, old Tiger blood, they're in the headlines right now. And this Olympian says if the Bengals lose, it's going to mess up his gold medal attempt because his psychology is going to be all wrong. So if you want America to win a gold medal in whatever ski event he's in, I guess we need a Bengals Super Bowl if you care about such things. He's wearing the old Ocho Cinco jersey, 85, like it's the Rams' 85th season. And you can understand when you know Gematria why they made such a big deal about Chad Johnson, National Football League 85. And to remind that these guys don't give a shit about you, do you know what Chad Johnson said in every one of his interviews? I swear to God, in every interview he brought up the same thing. Oh, you don't need to worry about nutrition and health. I just eat McDonald's every day. Do you think that's even true? Do you think Chad Johnson ate McDonald's every day like he always told his fans back then? I'm guessing that was not true, I'm guessing that was not true. I'm guessing that was just some payola. Keep those drive-in lines filled the way they do McDonald's. It's amazing. They got 1 million stars in every town, and everyone's backed up all hours of the day. It's just like, how are people such addicted to absolute trash, from rig sports to the shittiest overpriced food? It's just mind-blowing. But again, Kodak Black, just put out the new music video with all the Bengals stuff. And last time I checked, this guy's not from Cincinnati, so it's hard to say what's going on here. But he does have the same birthday as Joe Montana. And by the way, Joe Montana was born in 56 on June 11th, and Joe Burrow's name equals 116. Kind of like that Kobe Bryant Jordan thing. Jordan's name equals 238, and Kobe's born on 23/8. Joe Burrow's name equals 116. Montana born on 11/6. Same birthday as Kodak Black, who's 24 right now, and Bengals equals 24. But just also in the headlines, the Eye of the Tiger. That song came out in 82, the year of Super Bowl 16, where the Joe Montana 49ers beat the Bengals. They just put out a remix with the new updated Joe Burrow lyrics. And the writer, what's amazing about the writer for Eye of the Tiger, his name is 116 and 53, just like Joe Burrow. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., 116, won the Super Bowl for the Bucs in Tampa, Florida, 116, the year that the Rays went to the 116th World Series, and the Lightning won the Stanley Cup, all in the same year he went down there. And then Brady retired 53 days after Joe Burrow's birthday. Again, is Tom Brady passing the torch to Joe Burrow? We're going to find out today. We're going to find out if that's what's going on. Because, again, Brady won in his second year over the Rams. But like we've been talking about, this whole thing synced up with the Queen and the Pope and the big Jesuit cabal, the New World Order. What's the color of royalty? Purple. Remember the day Prince died on the Queen's birthday? They lit up Niagara Falls purple, and people were confused. They're like, wait a minute, why they light it up purple so fast for Prince and Purple Rain? And then they came out and said, oh, no. That wasn't for Prince. That's just a coincidence. Today's the Queen's birthday. And, of course, purple's the color of royalty. Isn't it interesting that Mr. Eye of the Tiger is posing in the orange or the purple? What color's the Gatorade going to be this year? You think it's going to be orange or purple? But Tiger's got tails. What's the coin toss going to be? Anyway, I had to go back and look at Eye of the Tiger. I want to show you something that's a trip here. So again, this is why you got to know your base ciphers. Notice how when I write out Tiger, it's 59 and 76. Remember, the Super Bowl is 76 days after Joe Burrow's dad's birthday, who was a pro ball player himself. We just saw the LSU Tigers win with 76 on the same day the Auburn Tigers lost their first game in 76 days, losing with 76 points. But with regards to 59 and 76, look what happens when I write out Eye of the Tiger. It's got the 59 and 76 as well, but do you see the 148? Eye of the Tiger was written for the Rocky film, Rocky 3. Now, the Bengals are in their third Super Bowl. Rocky was about overcoming adversity, right? But May 28th, the day that movie came out, was the 148th day of the year. Eye of the Tiger in the most simple ciphers, 148. The song's written for the movie that released on the 148th day, right? And what's wild is Sylvester Stallone is 75 years old right now, like Cincinnati Bengals is 75. Again, that's why you got to know it forwards and backwards. Before we said it was 105, which is true. But forwards in the most pure cipher, it's 75. In reverse, it's 105. The Super Bowl's on Boomer Esiason's 303rd day of his age. The Bengals are trying to beat the Rams to drop them to 15 and 6 in the Super Bowl. Anyhow, look at what day Sylvester Stallone's birthday is. July 6, 7-6. Go back in history and count up the Bengals' early wins and tell me who they got their 76th win over in franchise history. It'll blow your mind. What also will blow your mind is, in light of all the 96 stuff with this year, again, Cincinnati in the most simple cipher is 96. And, whoops. Let me try that again. Sylvester Stallone's full name in the most pure cipher is also 96. Isn't that wild? Sylvester Stallone, Eye of the Tiger, Rocky. You know what? The only thing I didn't look at was Rocky. I used to have a friend in elementary school. His big brother was named after this movie. And he was living up to the hype. He put us all to shame. Dude lived in the weight room. Oh, wild. Well, that's crazy, man. I should have looked at this a long time ago. So Rocky 3 is 99. Remember, this season's all about 99. It began on September 9th. 9-9. You got Super Bowl QBs, number 9 versus number 9. The Rams' prayers that they won the Super Bowl with Warner, the Super Bowl 34, in 99. Again, Jupiter in that same cipher is 99, and Jupiter's the striped planet, the tiger planet. But it's wild that it's 54 forwards and backwards because, again, it's the Bengals' 54th season. Did you know the Bengals have only retired one jersey number, and it's for Bob Johnson, number 54? And he's 75 years old right now, and Bob Johnson's got that 156 in it as well. But hold on, before we get ahead of ourselves, just with regards to Eye of the Tiger being 148 and Rocky coming out on the Rocky 3 coming out on the 148th day of the year of Super Bowl 16. Look at what the Memphis Tigers did last night, upset in Houston. Notice how Houston went down with 59, right? And notice how Memphis improved to 14 and 8. Our community won big on this. People were feeling this all day yesterday because I've been telling people this was going to be a big game. And I told you guys all for free a long time ago that you had to watch what happened when Memphis and Houston played each other. Because if you go back to Young Dolph, the rapper who was killed November 17th reportedly in the big Jesuit ritual that was synced up with his album hype and what we covered all that. And then you had the Bone versus 3-6 Mafia. Remember, the founder, or Lord Infamous of 3-6 Mafia, his birthday is the day that Young Dolph died. And that was also Jeff Buckley's birthday, who drowned in Memphis in a suspicious death, famous singer. But anyway, the day of the Travis Scott concert tragedy, Young Dolph was still alive. That was November 5th. Young Dolph died 12 days later, November 17th, reportedly. But if you go back to Young Dolph's Instagram, November 5th, he posted one thing to his Instagram. It was an old highlight reel of footage between Memphis and Houston, the college basketball teams, Memphis and Houston. And we said, man, that's interesting, because if you guys were watching my work on Young Dolph, I did several videos on his death, but the first video I did, I said, look at this. This is exactly what I was talking about, that we got to watch out with the Memphis Tigers this year with the Year of the Tiger upcoming, because we saw that this was the Memphis Tigers' 68th basketball season. That's what's going on right now, the Memphis Tigers' 68th basketball season. And that matters because in Gematria, basketball is 68, just like Catholicism 68, like mathematics is 68. Remember, it's all biblical. The Bible, the fourth book, Numbers, the first March Madness which was in 85, like basketball's 85 as well, like Isus Omnium Salvator's 85, the Catholic school Villanova beat the Jesuit program Georgetown, and Georgetown was the defending champion. They'd won with John Thompson the year before in 84. John Thompson died at 78 on a Sunday, August 30th, 2020. A date with 78 numerology. Jesuits 78, 84. Won the championship in 84, dead at 78. Anyway, when Young Dolph died, the first thing I looked into was his discography and his music history, because I'd never heard a Young Dolph song in my life. I'd heard his name out there because he's kind of a big name right now, but I try not to listen to any of the modern music. It's just like, oh my God, what happened to the good old days? But anyway, when I looked into it, I said, look at this. He had a song called King of Memphis, or an album called King of Memphis, and from that album's release to his death is, I believe it was 68 months later. Yeah, it was 68 months later, like it's Memphis' 68th basketball season, and like how MLK was killed in 68. And then we found out that Young Dolph did a little documentary about King of Memphis, where he goes to the Lorraine Motel where MLK was killed. Again, MLK killed in Memphis in 68. 68th basketball season. March Madness this year ends on April 4th, the anniversary of the MLK killing. So we were looking at all this stuff before the college basketball season, just saying, man, who could be the team this year? And we're going to have to look real hard at the Auburn Tigers, because right now that they're going into the tournament as a 1 seed. Memphis is having a disappointing season so far, but is this going to be the Rocky comeback right here? You know what I mean? The eye of the Tigers is going to be playing now. They get to 14-8, dropping Houston with 59 points the night before the Super Bowl. That's all about the Tigers. You know what I mean? But again, you guys, you learn this knowledge. You see how scripted the games are. What a joke it is. To the point, again and again, because they're using technology to ensure outcomes. So anyway, also in college basketball last night, Ohio State, where Joe Burrow started, got to 15-6. 15-6. Cincinnati Bengals won 56. Also in college basketball last night, the VCU Rams, they got to 85 points. Again, the professional Rams are named after the VCU Rams. Funny enough, the year that the Patriots beat the Rams, these two teams also played each other the night before, the George Mason Patriots, the VCU Rams. Every year they're doing stuff with college basketball. This one's got me humming and hawing. Last night, Cooper Kupp, who plays for the Rams, the little white boy that nobody wants to guard in the NFL, he's just unguardable, that little white boy. Nobody can keep up with the little white boy. He's just always 50. He burns every... It's just such a joke, you guys, the NFL and the Great White Hope League. But anyway, his team is Eastern Washington. They beat the Idaho State Bengals last night. You know what's hilarious? The Idaho State Bengals in this game rallied to tie the game at 44-44. Again, the Super Bowl's on the 44th day of the year. It's the first time a 4 seed's facing a 4 seed. It's Lupercalia, which equals 44. And don't be the next person to say, I just looked it up and Lupercalia is only on February 15th. I've had so many people leave that comment. You guys, that's exactly... I hate that we live in the Orwellian age. Lupercalia is February 13th through February 15th. It always has been. Google and HistoryChannel.com just recently changed the date of Lupercalia to just Valentine's Day, which is a complete load of bullshit. And the reason they've done that, you guys, is because you haven't been here the last 9 years, where we've been pointing out all the ritualistic shit they do every year on Lupercalia, including the ritualistic death of Antonin Scalia. Lupercalia is February 13th and 15th. You can't just do a web search, and because Google now says something, that's the truth. Type in Lupercalia February 13th through 15th. You'll see there's a million things online. That's what Lupercalia's always been. But Lupercalia equals 44, like the 44th day of the year, and this is the first ever Super Bowl on this day. And again, it's the first 4 seed versus the 4 seed. But isn't it funny that Cooper Kupp School played the Bengals of all matchups last night? Again, you guys, this can only be so scripted. But what I was going to say is this game got tied 44-44. And do you know who tied the game on the Bengals? By the way, the Bengals were down 9 at halftime. But it made me laugh when they tied the game up. It was tied up by a guy named Tariq Cool. Come on, man. Tariq Cool, where are they getting who has the last name Cool? They're calling Joe Burrow Joe Cool. I was just like, what in the world? Where did this guy come from? Who put this guy on this mid-major school? You can't tell me this shit's a coincidence. Who the hell has the last name Cool? And go back and look it up. Tariq Cool tied up the game 44-44. Now, I mean, you can interpret this one of two ways. Does this mean the Bengals are going down to Cooper Kupp? When I look at the numbers, though, in that score, I'm like, man, Jesuit order number there with the Bengals. Jesuit orders 54 forward, 72 in reverse. Bengals 54 season. 75 like Cincinnati Bengals, added up 147. The Bengals come into the game 13-7. If they win, they're 14-7. Until this season, it was always 147 days from the first Sunday to Super Bowl Sunday. So anyway, for those of you guys who like the Rams, here's a stat you're going to like. For those of you guys on the Rams, here's a stat you're going to like a lot. And this blew my mind when I looked at this. And I kind of feel dumbfounded that I've been doing this all these years, and I never thought to compare these things before. But this is definitely something I'm going to start paying attention to. The 102nd World Series. This is the 102nd NFL season, concluding with Super Bowl 56. The 102nd World Series, look at what teams played in it. The St. Louis Cardinals versus the Detroit Tigers. R.I.P. Jeremy Giambi, drafted by the Tigers in the 44th round of the draft, who died supposedly from a suicide just days ago. Played the majority of his career with the Royals. The Royals, he didn't accept his draft in the 44th round by the Tigers. He got a little bit better, and then he got drafted higher by the Royals. I think it was the next season. But think about it. St. Louis, where the Rams have been as well, right? Rams, year of the Tiger. I mean, you can't tell me this wasn't predictive programming for this Super Bowl. And then what else is wild is the 102nd Stanley Cup. That was won by the St. Louis Blues. So and remember, the Royal Rumble was in St. Louis this year. Always pay attention to the Royal Rumble in WrestleMania. When they first scheduled the Super Bowl for February 6th, it was exactly 56 days before WrestleMania in Dallas. But the Royal Rumble was the clue that the Rams were in the Super Bowl this year. Every year, the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania synced up with the Super Bowl. Every single year. And, yeah, so for those of you guys who like the Rams, if the Rams win, I guess it was foretold in the Stanley Cup and the World Series. So we're going to keep a real eye on this. The one thing that's different, though, is, you know, the Rams, they do have that history in St. Louis, but they're not in St. Louis anymore. So we're going to find out what this means. And I'm going to throw this out there for everybody. Remember, next year will be the 103rd NFL season. State Farm equals 103. Rodgers equals 103. Rodgers picked up his 103rd career win over the Broncos some seasons back, and there's rumors that he's going to the Broncos. I think he either ends up on the Steelers, which equals 103, or the Broncos that equals 103. Those are the only two teams with a 103 connection. And he has a girlfriend that's in Colorado right now. But if you see Rodgers go to the Broncos, look at who was in the 103rd World Series, you guys. Colorado. So I'm just going to put that out there for everybody. We might really need to start paying attention to these old World Series since the World Series, because this year was the year of the 117th World Series. Truist Park 117. Haters are going to hate, but we said in spring training in the NL it was going to be one of two teams, and the NL was likely to win the World Series. Dodgers equals 117. Truist Park, where the Braves play, 117, plus Hank Aaron died. I told my people to have their chips on those two teams in the NL. We thought it could be the White Sox, possibly in the AL, but we were feeling more like the NL was going to win it. And I just saw one of my most liked comments the other day was by the trolls, and that's because the pack of trolls use like 20 alt accounts. But what happened to your World Series future last year? It's like, it hit? Yeah, it hit. Again, what happened to your brain? Come on, man. Like I told somebody yesterday, make sure your brain is connected to your mouth or your fingers before you speak or type. Anyway, yeah, this is really interesting. So for those of you guys on the Rams, this could be the ultimate predictive program, and we'll find out soon enough. Let's see. Again, I shout out to the caller yesterday. The Bengals have only retired one jersey number to date. It's hilarious. Bob Johnson, number 54. Now here they are in their 54th season trying to win the first Super Bowl for Ohio. And like I showed you earlier, Bob Johnson equals 156, just like Cincinnati Bengals. And RIP to Cedric Benson. Cedric Benson supposedly died in a motorcycle accident. He died exactly 911 days before this Super Bowl. That's the 156th prime number. And today will be the Rams' 911th game in the Super Bowl era. If you measure from 1966, their regular season and postseason games, they come in with 910 games played. Today's going to be 911. And remember, they were the team in the Super Bowl after 9/11, won by Brady and the Patriots after the passing of the Patriot Act. Also, for another 156, Katy Perry, 56 months before Super Bowl 56. She has a song out there called Swish Swish. The music video is the Tigers versus the Sheep. Again, a male sheep or a male goat is referred to as a ram. On Lupercalia, rams and also dogs. Matt Stafford's a Georgia Bulldog, but the Bengals are underdogs. Historically on Lupercalia, you sacrifice rams and dogs. And what's wild about the music video and title of this song is Swish Swish is like Cincinnati Bengals, you know? Song came out on the 139th day of the year, the 34th prime. Katy Perry equals 139. Tupac Shakur's another 139, dead on 13/9. We're going to have to figure out why the Minnesota Timberwolves guy whose whole family died from COVID's in here. But, and if this game is predictive programming for the Super Bowl, let's just say the Bengals win, they might have to win in a comeback Joe Montana style, because if you watch this music video, what happens is the sheep, who are dressed up like wrestlers, again, just reminding you about wrestling and rig sports, and notice how the only jersey number you see in the whole thing is 51. Remember, Rams equals 51, Cincinnati equals 51. And Mary J. Blige is 51 right now, and her name's 102, and Regina King sacrificed her son, and she's 51 right now from Cincinnati. And Google and all the websites just rechanged her birthplace from L.A. or from Cincinnati to L.A. She's also in the movie Poetic Justice with Tupac Shakur, and Poetic Justice is 56. And is it going to be Poetic Justice for Ohio? Because it just seems wrong that the birthplace of football hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. But would there be a better season than the one of 17 games, which makes no sense for the 17th state? But anyway, number 51 is the number you see. Remember, Joe Burrow advanced to the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship 51 days after his birthday with 51 career touchdowns, 47 in the regular season, 4 in the postseason. Easily verifiable Football Reference. But Joe Burrow, 51 days after his birthday, takes Cincinnati to the Super Bowl with 51 career touchdowns. And year after year, the scripts are this perfect, showing you that it's just like the announcers say all the time. You couldn't have scripted it any better. By the way, Al Michaels is working this Super Bowl, who worked the 99 Super Bowl in this 9-9 season, which is where the Rams won. But Katy Perry, Swish Swish, you know, pretty wild. She was a Super Bowl halftime performer the other year when Russell Wilson lost in Super Bowl 49, who's from Cincinnati. Okay, we were talking about Bob Johnson, number 54. Oh, yeah, what's wild about Bob Johnson as well is from his birthday, where'd it go? His birthday is August 19th. From his birthday to the Super Bowl is his 179th day of his age. It's 178 days after his birthday, or his 179th day of his age. That's the 41st prime number. Every year we're talking about Super Bowl and 41. Super Bowl equals 41 in the most pure. LA's got the 41. Never forget Kobe Bryant dead at 41. Kobe Bryant equals 41. Died while traveling from Catholic Mass. The Jesuits served the Catholic Church. He died on the Pope's 41st day of his age. Pope Francis. And remember, Kobe Bean Bryant, 54, dead right before Super Bowl 54. Now we got the Super Bowl in L.A., and the Bengals in their 54th season are there. Remember, LeBron helped the Lakers win their 17th championship for L.A., coming over from Ohio, the 17th state, on January 7th, 1-7. Speaking of which, I want to go back when Odell Beckham... Hold on. Now that I say that, I want to show you something. When Odell Beckham went to L.A. on the day leaving 56 days left in the year, see how his name's just like Society of Jesus? His birthday's the day leaving 56 days. They picked up the two big stars with the 56 connections in their birth, Von Miller and Odell. And again, you guys, had the Rams not been hosting the Super Bowl, at this point I would have just been like, okay, they're in the whole thing that kept me from thinking the Rams could be in the Super Bowl in the NFC was that they were hosting. I really didn't think they were going to do it 2 years in a row. I just thought that'd be too obvious to NFL fans. But look, I mean, nothing is. Nothing is too obvious to sports fans. Just everything is a coincidence. Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay. They go to 3 championships and win 2 of them. Coincidence, coincidence, coincidence. Nobody thinks twice. And Tampa, I mean, just not a town that's known for winning at anything. Then they just win everything when Tom Brady goes there. Everybody just shrugs their shoulders. Super Bowl's never been the hosting teams never played it until Brady does it, and then the next year the Rams, who Brady has all this history with, do it. It's just like, what in the world, man? And people just think, ah. But look at this. When they had the Von Miller and Odell trade, you know, there must be something about the rooster in light of the year of the tiger. Year of the rooster's a thing. He's got a rooster cross. Why did the chicken cross the road, I suppose? Maybe there's some of that riddle. But look how Odell's got the New World Order t-shirt on. And again, that's a wrestling thing, right? I don't follow wrestling, but isn't that what Steve Austin's thing was back when he was doing it? But here's the thing about New World Order and him facing the Bengals. You see how Cincinnati Bengals is 75? New World Order is 75. Catholic Church is 75. And NWO is 52, like Los Angeles Rams. Super Bowl 56 is the 52nd of the modern era. And just for old time's sake, just so you understand, this stuff's not a joke, let's go back to, before probably anybody here was alive. There might be somebody who was alive. Shout out to the old people. But New World Order pledged to Jews. This headline is from the New York Times, October 6th, 1940. Well, why did they do that on that day? October 6th, 1940 was a date with 75 numerology, right? And this post is from, September 15, 2018 when I first put this up. But, Catholic Church, just like I said, who would pledge it? Again, the Jesuits are Catholic and Jewish, something we've talked about all this time. And the guy who did it, you know what else is 174? Cincinnati. Queen Elizabeth's birthday, or Queen Elizabeth's husband was buried on 17/4 this year, Boomer Esiason's birthday. But hold on. The guy who did this, Arthur Greenwood, I think I got it in this post. Yeah, Arthur Greenwood is who made the announcement. 106, he did it on October 6th. Again, you guys, they've been doing this stuff for longer than any of us have been alive. This stuff goes back to the 16th century. That's when all this stuff was arrived at. The calendar, the language, that's how the Jesuits been running the world, creating history, dividing the people, distracting the people, filling the people's heads with stories. They've been doing it this way the whole time. And why? Because it all comes from Kabbalah. Kabbalah says God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. These people are Kabbalists. But the darker side of it, you guys remember when Chris Henry of the Bengals died? Supposedly he fell out the back of a pickup truck and killed himself. Young star player in the NFL for the Bengals. Look at what day he died. He died December 17th. That day is Saturnalia. That's the Pope's birthday now, the first Jesuit Pope. Saturnalia. Saturnalia is another day a ritual sacrifice, like Lupercalia. And what's wild about his death is when he died, he had 21 career touchdowns. Here, let me pull up his stats real quick. I know I linked it. Here, right here. He died with 21 career touchdowns. Remember, in the most pure cipher, Saturn equals 21. 21's the sixth triangular planet, which means if you add 1 through 6, it equals 21. Saturn's the sixth planet from the sun. And until this year, Google's now changed it. Saturn now has 8 rings, you guys. But all my life growing up, they taught us that Saturn had 7 rings. And last year, had you searched how many rings Saturn has, it said it had 7. And that was a big part of the reason we said that Saban would get his 7th championship to start 21, and Brady would get his 7th ring to start 21, which he did. So we understood last year's riddle ice cold. Oh, but, hold on. I forgot to tell you one more thing about Odell Beckham. LeBron, when Odell came over, he said, "Welcome to LA, my brother. It's go time." And hold on. And then Von Miller said we can chase these rings together. But just the Odell going with LeBron from Ohio to LA, from Cleveland to LA, just like LeBron, right? And again, LeBron got traded on July 1st, which can be written 1/7. He had the $153 million deal, which is the 17th triangular, like Cavaliers is 153. And that's why I said the day it happened, I said, watch, LeBron will win the Lakers their 17th championship in his 17th season, exactly what he did. And I did think he was going to, I thought the riddle was perfect for him to go to 3 straight with LA like Kobe did. We know that didn't happen. But again, still having the knowledge, that was a big payout. All the people that hate on that, it's like, okay, are you guys dumb? Had you bet 100 for LeBron to win the championship in the 17th season? Before they got Anthony Davis, the odds on that were over 20-1. So had you put $100 down, you would have won $2,500. You win $2,500 on exactly what I said. You come back the next year, you put 100 down because you think he's going again. Well, that didn't hit. So now you know the riddle's broken, but what? You're up $2,400. Is that bad knowledge? All you guys who are hating on that's like, man, you must not know how to make money or count or do anything logically. And again, it's a reminder about who my critics are. low functioning, low IQ fucking losers. So take a look in the mirror just like this. Take a good look like this. Be like, fuck, he's right, you know? And then stop being a little bitch. Learn how to count. Okay, let's see. But Chris Henry, coming back to this. So, he dies on Saturnalia, right? Now, remember, Rambo called in Joe Burrow's rookie season, and he did a big thing about the significance of the Bengals playing on this once-in-800-year phenomenon known as the Great Conjunction. Jupiter and Saturn's Great Conjunction is the best in 800 years. Here's how to see it. Now, check this out. It would have been impossible to predict this at the time because the Super Bowl was not scheduled for February 13th. Remember, they moved it once they agreed to the 17-game schedule. And honestly, not to make excuses, but I think that's part of the reason that for the first time in a while, I didn't smash my Super Bowl prediction from the start of the season, because we predicted the Super Bowl when it was set for February 6th. It getting shifted to February 13th shifted some things. But look at this. Because they shifted the Super Bowl to February 13th, keep in mind Joseph Lee Burrow equals 213. So does Diana, Princess of Wales. And again, this is all about the royal family. And from Princess died, what's going on with the Queen right now? Princess died divorced in 96. The Queen embarrassed by that. Diana buried on 9/6. Now the Queen's about to turn 96. All the stuff we've been talking about. Joe Burrow born in 96. Tupac dead in 96. Anyway, from the Great Conjunction December 21st, where the Bengals played the Steelers that day. Keep in mind, Ben Roethlisberger just retired. You know, just big retirement in the AFC North. Are they making room for the new star in that division? You know, Joe Burrow. But from December 21st, 2020, the Great Conjunction to the Super Bowl is 419 days. And like I always teach you, outside of the base ciphers, you got to know Jewish gematria. It's the most important cipher outside of the base ciphers. Cincinnati Bengals is 419. That's the 81st prime number. Ritual is 81. Pittsburgh Steelers is 81. Ben finished his career with 81 regular season losses with the Steelers. So how amazing is that? Jupiter is the tiger-striped planet. Saturn is what it had its conjunction with. We go back and look at the death of Chris Henry on Saturnalia in 2009. Jupiter's the 99 planet. Everything about Jupiter breaks down to 9. Again, this season began on 9/9. Battle of number 9 versus number 9. And again, it's wild because you got to choose which one do you like more. You see how Jupiter's 99 and it's also 90? If Stafford loses, he gets his 99th loss. The Rams lost in Super Bowl 36 to Brady. If Stafford wins, though, he gets his 90th career win. And again, that's why sometimes there's some games that just seem like lock city. Like, for example, the other night, Boston picking up their 32nd win over Denver when that almost always hits with Denver, especially in Boston where it's 32 and Denver's 32. Like, those things don't miss very often. But some games you look at and you're like, God, did they script this game so it can go either way based on where more money is? Right now, there's a lot more money on the Rams. But the thing is, they don't have to pay out as much if the Rams win because you got to bet 200 to win 100. If you bet 100 on the Bengals, you got to pay out almost, I think the payout's about 160, 165. So, I mean, Vegas has to do the math at the end of the day, but you got to say, what are the odds of this huge ritual with the Tigers, the year of the Tiger, Jupiter being the Tiger planet? Matt Stafford's a cat, right? He comes over from the Detroit Lions, so essentially you have a lion versus a tiger. And what are the odds, though, that he's on 89 career wins and 98 career losses? What are the odds of that? Doesn't that seem a little bit too tight? As for the other value of Jupiter, 45, that's the 9th triangular. And again, if the Bengals win, they're going to get their 9th playoff win in their 23rd playoff game where 23 is the 9th prime. Avenging what happened to them in Super Bowl 16 and 23 to the 49ers. Do it against a different California team. Notice all the Bengals Super Bowls are against California teams. 49ers and now the LA Rams. What's going on there with that? But I'm telling you, Chris Henry was likely, the day he was likely sacrificed, I doubt he was just like truck surfing in the back of a pickup truck and fell out and died. You know, that's the story we got. But again, Saturnalia is a day for sacrifice. And don't forget what they did this year on Saturnalia. They sacrificed the Colts lineman's child. He died 201 days after his birthday. And Saturn worships 201 like Indianapolis is 201. And then their running back put the game away against the Patriots with 2:01 left on the clock, Jonathan Taylor. But yeah, Chris Henry Chris Henry dead in connection to Saturn. Saturn and Jupiter. Now all these years later, and keep in mind it's 12 years later, right? It's 12 years in a month and in some days. Because again, December 17, 2009, 12 years would have been 2021, and then we're just a couple months after that. But again, this goes with the Cedric Benson thing too. Cedric Benson dead 911 days before the Super Bowl. That's the reflection of 119. Saturn has the 119 Gematria and Francis Bacon. And keep in mind he died in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? Charlotte. Interesting. Named after the Queen. And this whole Super Bowl synced up with the Queen. The only time that I can find that the Queen watched an American football game, Maryland upset UNC. Isn't that interesting? Back in 1957. And don't forget, the last time the Rams and the Bengals played each other, it was in London, October 27th, 2019. And that date, 1027, notice Joe Burrow, 127 in the most simple, 116 in reverse, like Joe Montana's birthday, 11/6. Joe Burrow, 46 and 53. Brady just retired 53 days after Joe Burrow's birthday, 46 days after the Popes. All roads lead to Rome. Don't forget Tom Brady equals 46, 199th pick out of Michigan. Michigan 46, 199, the 46 prime. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., also 116, Tom Brady after 9/11 when buildings 1, 2, and 7 fell. They called it the new Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was on December 7th, 127. Now Joe Burrow faces the Rams with 911. This will be their 911th game in the Super Bowl era. But yeah, look at how the Bengals beat the Steelers. 419 days before the Super Bowl. Again, 419 is the 81st prime. Pittsburgh Steelers, 81. Let me write it out for you. Pittsburgh Steelers, 81. Most pure cipher. And 44 points. And now they're in the Super Bowl on the 44th day of the year. And look at what the Steelers went down with. 17, right? 17. Now in the year of the 17-game season against Ohio, the 17th state. And you might recall the Steelers went 10-3 and then 11-3 in those back-to-back games. Steelers 103, 113. See how that works? If I recall, Kevin Green died at 58 the weekend. I think they had a Monday Night Football game the week before the Steelers. He died at 58 before the game. Pittsburgh's got that 58. I just realized that Pittsburgh, I didn't think about that before. Pittsburgh's 140 like Queen of England. And again, I got some speculation for the Queen on the 140th day of the year, May 20th, 96 days after the Super Bowl. Again, Big Ben, the clock in London, everything's a ritual in time. Big Ben retired on 127. Retirement 127. Was he just clearing the way for old Joe Burrow there? 127 like Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Two big quarterbacks in the AFC retire. Tom Brady on the first day of the year of the Tiger. Please don't be the person to leave the comment like, man, I think you actually might be onto something. Please don't leave that comment. When I read these comments, I know you guys aren't trying to. I don't even know what you're trying to do, but it just makes me think like, that poor guy's probably gonna have a swine heart pretty soon. We're not probably onto something, buddy. Or little lady, whoever it is, we're not on to something. We're all over something. That's why I've had to be censored a million times. That's why they got to censor all my shit. That's why these videos don't get hundreds of thousands of views anymore like they did years ago. Again, it's called censorship. They don't like me exposing their shit. We're not maybe on to something. We're destroying the fucking target is what we're doing. God. You guys, get a clue. Nobody's called as many futures in 1,000 lifetimes as I have in the last 8 years. No one's been calling sports and news and elections and all this shit before it happens and showing you how it's all connected and how it all rolls back to the Jesuits, okay? Every year I'm showing you about the ritual murders for these games. I told you guys for free, if you were on Patreon, I told you before Week 2 was played why it looked like Georgia was beating Alabama. After the Week 2 games were played, we said, yep, Georgia's beating Alabama. That's your championship. Late in the season, we were like, we might want to hedge with Michigan just in case. But it looked like Georgia over Alabama. On New Year's Eve, I put it out for free to you guys. I showed you the old clip from September 10th where we went over it, and I went into greater detail why it looked like Georgia over Alabama. And look at what happens after the championship and before the Super Bowl. Former Alabama running back Santonio Beard shot dead at age 41. And again, in the most pure cipher, Super Bowl is 41. 41's the 13th prime. That's the Alabama number in the most pure. 13, right? 41-13. These numbers come up with Alabama, the Super Bowl. Keep in mind, NFL's also 13. Stafford's finally doing something in L.A. in his 13th season. Well, one of Stafford's riddles is he's got the Georgia connection, the Bulldogs who won it this year. But look at this. I want you to see how messed up this is about the Santonio Beard shooting. He was killed on February 5th, okay? February 5th, 2-5. We saw that Georgia would beat Alabama because it was all about 25, the game on the Pope's 25th day of his age, the Week 2 matchups that revealed the riddle 97 days from the Pope's birthday, the 25th prime. Georgia beat Alabama, getting their 25th win versus Alabama. Now the Alabama products killed, not long after the game, February 5th, 2-5. And you can also write that day 5/2, like 52. This is the 52nd Super Bowl of the modern era. He's dead at 41. Look at his name in Gematria, Santonio Beard, 56 and 79, like Society of Jesus. Keep in mind, Alabama's 56 in Jewish Gematria. They got one of the nation's Jesuit universities down there in Mobile, where Hank Aaron's from. And again, we were just showing this with Odell Beckham, traded to the Rams on the day, leaving 56 days left in the year of his birthday. But Santonio Beard, the perfect ritual murder at age 41, and then in light of it coming in Black History Month, look at what they have to write. Beard is most remembered for his 5 touchdowns in a 42-7 win over Ole Miss at Bryant-Denny Stadium. I'm almost tempted to go back and look even more at that. But you know what? And keep in mind, he's from Tennessee, too. There's all this Tennessee stuff coming up. The Bengals went through Tennessee. Anyway, look at how he was killed 9 days before his birthday. His birthday is Valentine's Day, the 45th day of the year, the 9th triangular number. He's killed on the 36th day of the year. Again, the Super Bowl has a lot to do with Jupiter, the tiger planet, killed on the 36th day before his birthday on the 45th day. And again, all these numbers break down to 9. Dead 9 days before his birthday. The Battle of the Nines. Connected to Alabama, who just faced Georgia, Matt Stafford's school. You see? Every year. And I mean, think about how many deaths we already covered. Just people, just bodies dropping from Bob Saget. Bob Saget was for the 49ers, who made a run all the way to the conference championship. And, all the people in Cincinnati. I mean, we've covered a lot of deaths connected to Cincinnati. And again, it's just year after year. And remember last year, after the Chiefs lost, the next day their coach is dead in the news, dead at 77, like Tom Brady, born in 77, who just got his 7th championship. I mean, just year after year. Last year, every year, so many deaths connected to these championships. NFL, MLB, NBA Finals, college championship, the same thing year after year. And when you recognize the patterns, when you know what the numbers mean, it's just so obvious. It's so obvious why a man is killed at 41, And it's always according to the police. Remember the police put out the song Murder by Numbers. And by the way, if you don't know about 42, I don't you must be new here, but again, Jackie, Black History 42, Jackie number 42, right? February is Black History Month, 42. A lot of not nice words are 42. The Tuskegee Experiment. You also have the Tuskegee Airmen, 42. Martin, the sitcom in Detroit on the 42nd parallel where he lives in an apartment, 42. Malcolm X, not his birth name, 42, just like Martin Luther King Jr., that wasn't his birth name, 42. Muhammad Ali, another 42, not his birth name. LeBron James, the great new civil rights leader, supporting all these racially divisive psyops like Trayvon Martin, which are all just the same type of ritual, 42. The N-word is 42, of course. We were just talking about the 42nd episode of Family Matters with Steve Urkel, where the N-word's spray-painted on the locker. And then that episode debuted on the 60th day of the year. And the title of the 42nd episode equals 102. And again, you guys, I really do think that they also had a narrative for a Super Bowl for the Chiefs this year, with Mahomes going to his 3rd straight, and very possibly against the Cowboys, which is 102. Had they done that, it would have been 30 years after Mahomes' father was called up on the 102nd day of the year to Major League Baseball, a man who finished his career with 42 regular season, or 42 wins, period. Just like how Mahomes, when he won the Super Bowl, he had 42 passing attempts. This year, the 2 games he won were with 42 points. Had Mahomes won the Super Bowl this year, he would have been 10-2 in the playoffs and picked up his 60th career win. You know, I think that was a script that they had. And if you go back to the start of the 2020 season, at the end of it, they showed a cardboard cutout of Queen Elizabeth. Remember how nobody could go to the games because of COVID? The Chiefs and the Texans game, at the end of it, they showed a cardboard cutout of the Queen Elizabeth, and from that game to the Super Bowl is 521 days, the 98th prime, where Kansas City Chiefs is 98. You know, whoops, I spelled Chiefs wrong. But I don't think that I don't think it was a bad call that could have been the Super Bowl this year. I just think they went with a different script, and that's why I told my people right after the wild card round, I said, man, we've been talking about Bengals and Year of the Tiger all year. This actually they might actually put Burrow in there instead of Mahomes. And that's the only thing we were thinking about in my community in the AFC. If it's not Mahomes, is it Burrow? And a lot of people ended up making good money in the playoffs because we saw that after the wild card round. And again, the Bengals were our best team all year. We dominated with the Bengals in upsets this year because we understood the power of 54. Again, if you guys have not read my book, you can download it for free. You can see that this is no bullshit. Now, I mean, this is what you call a synchronicity. The Celestine prophecy says when you have major synchronicities in your life, it's a sign that you're on the right path. If you guys read my book, Number Games, which you can download for free, just go to my GematriaEffectNews 24 channel, download the ebook. This book's been out for over a year and a half, since before they set the Super Bowl for February 13th. But what's wild is on page 213 of the book, that's where I first talk about Joe Burrow and his connection to the number 54. And look at what he did in his 54th season. He took him to the Super Bowl on 2-1-3. But I was mostly talking about all the people who died for him in connection to his college championship in the Battle of the Tigers. Now here he is in the Year of the Tiger. And also in that book, I explain why that COVID's going to wind down in the Year of the Tiger. And is that incorrect? No, you see it right now. The mandates are ending all over the place. So anyway, you see what else they had to do? You know, if you've read my first book, Letters and Numbers, and I talk about it in Number Games as well, the coding of 42 and 59. They have to mention in this article that he's most remembered for his 5-touchdown game where they won 42-7. By the way, when you write out 5 in the most simple cipher, 5 is 42. When you write out 9, it's also 42. And again, February, he's killed in February, 42 month, Black History Month. But again, they say he's most remembered for that big touchdown performance in his 42-7 win, and now he's dead at age 41, which also means he died in his 42nd year of life. And again, I mean, just the same patterns. But with regards to 59, Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. Slave is 59. Slavery is 42. Notice slavery is also 102, like the 102nd season. That's why, and think about that too, you guys. I did think that this was going to be the first ever Super Bowl with two black quarterbacks facing each other because last year on the day leaving 102 days left in the year, the NFL made a big deal about the most ever black quarterbacks playing against each other. And I was thinking, man, 102nd season, day leaving 56 days left in the year. Well, we didn't get two black quarterbacks, but what we did get is a black head official, Ron Torbert, and we get the first hip-hop concert for a Super Bowl show where every single performer is black except for Slim Shady, the new Elvis Presley. And let me show you something funny about Elvis and Eminem. Again, Slaves 59, Negro 59, Blues 59, Rasta 59, Motown came out in 59, Island Records, the Rastafari label, came out in 59. But Elvis Presley, they said Elvis Presley made black music. Elvis Presley also died at 42. Elvis Presley in the early days, a lot of white parents didn't want them to listen to Elvis Presley because he was dancing like a black man and making this black music. You know, back in the day, that's what they said about Elvis. He was this bad white man. He wanted to be a black guy. And anyway, Elvis got that 59 in his name too, just like Eminem, right? I was actually... Once upon a time, I was in a record store, and I just happened to be in there at the right moment. There was a group of black dudes in there, and they picked up the Eminem album. This is what, like, when Eminem was first coming out, they picked it up, and they're like, nobody better buy this sorry-ass motherfucking album from this sorry-ass cracker or something like that. And I was just like, oh, my God, man. And at the time, I was like, the only song that was out from Eminem when that happened that I had heard was the one that was on the MTV all the time, Hi, My Name Is, and I hated that song when it came out. I was like, God, this song fucking sucks. But for the record, the word cracker is also 59, you know. Let's see. Oh, yeah, also in the headlines. On the 41st day of the year, former Bronco player sentenced to 16 years for 2019 Colorado shooting. It's like, man, another Colorado shooting headline? They got to give us one of these every week. But when I was reading the story, I was like, come on, man. Okay, if you read the story, he was supposed to be sentenced on November 5th, the day leaving 56 days left in the year, right? But then it got delayed due to coronavirus, which, again, is 56. So they say the shooting's October 16th. That's the day in history of the Million Man March, which is the day leaving 76 days left in the year. Again, if you were noticing when I was writing out all that stuff, slave in reverse is 76, Negro is 76, blue 76, Rasta 76, just like tiger, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick a tiger. Remember, the old nursery rhyme's not pick a tiger, it's pick a N, the N-word, by its toe. But the first black president, Barack Obama, his book, A Promised Land, which he released on the day leaving 44 days left in the year, 76. He's number 44. The 44th book of the Bible is Acts. Acts 7:6 is about slavery. Anyway, isn't it just funny that, this football player here is actually white, but still, it's just all in the year of the tiger. Had anybody heard about this story before? The Justin Bannan shooting? NFL vet? I never heard about any of this before, but here it comes right before the Super Bowl. And again, just the day leaving 76 days left in the year when there's this 76 stuff going on all over the place. And also, he was sentenced on the 41st day of the year, February 10th, 10/2, like 102. Here we are in the 102nd season. They moved it from the day leaving 56 days left in the year to the day 10/2, the 41st day of the year, right before the Super Bowl. And keep in mind, if Rodgers goes to Colorado, somehow this could be a riddle for that. So Justin Bannon's got that 139 in his name, the 34th prime. You know what else has the 139 in it? Green Bay. So there could be some kind of connection there. Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend's in Colorado. And by the way, just one more time, we've been talking about how big 34 is in this game. The last time they met was in London. The Rams won 24-10, 34 points. 34, again, is the 9th Fibonacci number. If you don't know Fibonacci numbers, they go like this. See if you can follow the pattern as I say it. See if you can figure out what I'm doing. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. That's the 9th number in the sequence. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. If you're the type of person that has to write something down, I bet if you wrote it down, you'd figure it out. You add the last two numbers to get the next number. So after 34, the 10th Fibonacci number is 55, because the last two numbers in the sequence were 21, 34. So 55 is the 10th. 89 is the 11th, because 34 plus 55 is 89. 144 is the 12th, because 55 plus 89 is 144. The next one is 233, because 89 plus 144 is 233. It's interesting that 144 is the 12th Fibonacci number, special number with the Jesuits in time, because 144 also has a square root of 12. The Bengals were voted as a team on May 23rd, which is the 143rd day of the year. They were voted into existence, and they were officially established May 24th, the 144th day of the year. Jesuit order is 144th, the alphabetic order 54 with numerology, like how they've only retired number 54 so far, and it's their 54th season. Something tells me someday they'll retire Joe Burrow's jersey there, but anyway, 34 is the 9th Fibonacci number. Again, the season began on 9-9. It's number 9 versus number 9. The Rams played in the 99th NFL season in the Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 34 that was in 99 with Kurt Warner, who's from the same area in Iowa as Burrow. But I noticed that Joe Burrow and the Bengals debuted the black Super Bowl Super Bowl outfits on February 3rd. That's the 34th day of the year. Black has Gematria 34, so does Burrow. Next QB to win the Super Bowl will be the 34th. Burrow equals 34, but Matt Stafford just did turn 34. I was overlooking that because I was thinking, I forgot, Stafford's birthday is February 7th. Last year, the Super Bowl was on his birthday when Brady won. And that was right after he got traded from Detroit to the Rams. But I guess you could make an argument for either quarterback, being appropriate to be the 34th. But isn't it funny that it works out that way? It's either a 34-year-old or a guy whose name equals 34. And keep in mind the day that Burrow unveiled the black uniforms, it was his 56th day of his age. The same day they evacuated the Cannon building in D.C., the same day Joe Biden referenced how you can't own a cannon because of the Second Amendment, which is false. You actually can. And but the reason that happens is because it's all ritual. And again, that Cannon building's named after a guy who went to University of Cincinnati. But again, Rams won Super Bowl 34. Mary J. Blige is performing on her 34th day of her age. Family Affair 102. Dr. Dre in the Family Affair music video wearing the number 34 jersey. Mary J. Blige flinging the crawfish in the music video. That's what they eat down in NOLA, where Burrow won the championship, where LSU is the home of Burrow and Shaquille O'Neal. Dre's wearing the Shaquille O'Neal jersey. And, yeah, it's funny that they did that on the 34th day of the year. There he is, the new Macaulay Culkin. He is the home team this year, despite playing in L.A. That's the one thing that's different. Last year, the Bucs were in their own stadium, and they were technically the home team, but every year the AFC and NFC alternate who's home. So this year, the AFC is the home team. So the Bengals are technically at home, despite, playing in L.A. And as we know, the L.A. Rams don't really have a home field advantage. They might this time because, but L.A., they don't know what team to cheer for. Their teams just come and go, and it's just like, well, whatever. We'll just cheer for the Cowboys. Anyway, so, yeah, it's just funny how they did that. It's funny how they did that. But by the way, don't forget that University of Texas is who shot the cannon through Joe Burrow's jersey exactly 129 days before he won the championship in the Battle of the Tigers in New Orleans. Canonized, what you do to make a saint. And if you didn't know, Eminem is from St. Joseph's, Missouri, like how the Rams used to be in Missouri. And again, Billy Cannon, who has all the parallels to Joe Burrow, he died in St. Francisville. Pope Francis equals 59. Today's Pope Francis' 59th day of his age, the 17th prime. Is that a good sign for the 17th state? For you Rams fans, you do see the canonized as 87, like how the Bengals could fall to 8-7 versus the Rams against Billy Cannon's old team. So we'll find out which way they're going to go. But yeah, understand the script is in, the ritual murders are in like always. There'll be more. They always come before and after the game. Before the day's over, there might be even more deaths. We might have people hating the COVID protesters even more. They're saying this trucker convoy might make it hard to get to the Super Bowl 56. They got to bring in the trucker convoy. Notice truckers is 56, like the Jesuit governor there, Gavin Newsom, the good little woodpecker that he is. Don't forget when he locked down California, he said in 8 weeks, 56% of you will get coronavirus. And of course, 8 weeks is 56 days. But yeah, we'll see what happens there with that. And by the way, this is also in the headlines. CNN's explaining how people accidentally type in superb owl, so that's why it always becomes viral on the Super Bowl. CNN saying people accidentally type in the phrase superb owl. Why do they always got to cover up the truth? Why don't they have Anderson Cooper get up there today and explain this story, holding up his little drawing from after Sandy Hook, where if you guys missed it, after Sandy Hook, Anderson Cooper got up there and he said, this little 6-year-old drew this owl, and they wrote this message here, and let me read it to you guys. This 6-year-old wrote, wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a world where only police officers and military people had guns? And he's like, I totally concur with that. Here, let me hold this owl up again, the symbol of the Illuminati. What a great little 6-year-old right here. For the record, with regards to all the 56, and then I've never seen CNN do an article like this, but they're doing it on the day of Super Bowl 56. On your dollar bill, it has all its Illuminati symbolism. If you take a magnifying glass and look at the top right corner, there's a little owl up in the top right corner. If you didn't know that, look it out. It's a fact. It's not some conspiracy bullshit. But again, the Illuminati, founded by a Jesuit, Society of Jesus 56. If you didn't know this about Sandy Hook, it was established in 1956. The shooting was in 2012, 56 years later. And remember how they blamed it on the guy that looked like a bad Photoshop? Adam Peter Lanza, 56, also 79 like Society of Jesus. But, hold on, you guys. Just so you know, obviously, there's no one who could question the legitimacy of the Sandy Hook shooting. I mean, who cares that the entire national media had to apologize at the end of the day for all day playing footage of a school shooting simulation while the school was on winter break from 20 miles away that wasn't even Sandy Hook. You know, there was nothing curious about that. You'd have to be some kind of conspiracy theorist to even question anything after the media apologized for showing you footage all day to scare the shit out of you of a simulation. But that again was 20 miles from Sandy Hook. It's like, man, how can the whole media fuck up that whole bad? You mean CNN, NBC, ABC, Fox? Not a single one of them could figure it out all day. All day they showed the same footage of a different school 20 miles away from a chopper of a simulation overhead. A guy's running around in fatigues out the back of a school, and it wasn't even Sandy Hook. Man, but who could question any of this, you guys? Hey, speaking of Year of the Tiger and Chinese astrology, I think I need to learn more about it because let me go back to this. This is one of my favorite stories right here. One of the great heroes from the non-simulation at Sandy Hook that was totally legitimate. You know, they had to tell you, a first responder to Sandy Hook shootings has died of COVID-19. And notice how they had him posed next to the license plate with the 56 on it. Man, what a coincidence. Look how sad the dog is. Poor dog. He knew Patrick was going down. He could smell it then, but... Isn't it funny how it just all lines up so perfect with the Gematria? You know, Sandy Hook established in 56 years later. By the way, let me send a shout out to USA Today. USA Today's been hating on me ever since I helped people rob the bookies back in Super Bowl 50. That year. Hey, where'd my post go? Did they get rid of the article? Whoa, did they finally get rid of the article? Hey, I think they finally scrubbed the article. What in the world? It's always come up until today. Oh, it's still here. The USA Today's page is the big lead, their sports page. But I just want you to see how after they went after me. It's funny, they posted that on 127. But he had to close it out this way. He said, once you look at all the facts, everything falls into place. Although I do have one beef with Hubbard. Well, one beef other than the fact that he believes the Sandy Hook shooting was a hoax. Hey, buddy. Let's do a follow-up article. Here's Ryan Phillips. If anybody wants to contact Ryan Phillips and say, hey, when are you going to interview Zach? He's called a million more things correct since your article. And I mean, don't you think we should go back and look at everything he's saying? I mean, you know what I mean? But yeah, again, people search Superb Owl because they know to look for that phrase each year because they know Super Bowl is a reshuffling of those words, and the owl is a symbol of the Illuminati. And again, Illuminati means in the light, you guys. And in case you're new here, in Genesis 1:3, when you write out 3 as a word, it's 56. The Bengals are in their 3rd Super Bowl. Odell comes over in the 56 ritual, puts on the 3. It's going to be the Rams' 3rd Super Bowl in the time they've been in L.A. They're 0-2 in Super Bowls in L.A., just like the Bengals are 0-2. So technically, one of them is going to get their first win in a way. The Rams won one in St. Louis, but never in L.A. Right now, the city of L.A. is 1-2 in Super Bowls because the Raiders won one there. But God makes light in Genesis 1:3. Light is 56. Genesis is the beginning story of the Abrahamic religions, which are 3. Abrahamic's 56. In reverse, it's 187. Like there's 187 chapters in the Torah, which is the basis of the Abrahamic religions. And again, notice how when you write out 3, it's 56 and 79, and light's 56 and 79. Look at Society of Jesus. 56, 79, 187. Also 191, which is the 43rd prime. Jesus Christ is 43. Xavier University, the Jesuit program in Ohio, is 191 years old right now. The Who are returning to Cincinnati like Who Day, the Cincinnati Bengals phrase. And that concert's 191 days after the Travis Scott concert tragedy on the Jesuit Day. Remember the 5th of November, the day leaving 56 days left in the year. And the Who concert tragedy was in 79. You see how all this shit's Illuminati ritual? The Who is a British band, like how this Super Bowl synced up with the royal family, where the king died at age 56. And again, the original Super Bowl date, February 6th, was the day The queen became the queen because the king died on that day at age 56. Then they moved it to February 13th. And that day can be written 13/2. And again, England's 132. Princess Diana's 132. She died 132 days after the Queen's birthday, buried on 9/6. Now it looks like the Queen's about to go out at age 96 with Cincinnati, the Queen City, in the Super Bowl. But again, to be fair, for you Rams fans who think the Rams are going to take it, and it's no fun to take the favorite. It's no fun, but here we go. Queen Elizabeth II is her official title, which is 87 in the most pure. So, I mean, you got to look at that. The Bengals could fall to 8-7 versus the Rams. And again, Diana, Princess of Wales, also in the most pure cipher, 87. And 213 like the day of the Super Bowl. And America's still so fascinated with Diana. But let me do one thing before we get out of here. Wikipedia keeps track of all deaths that make headlines day by day. And I just want to see. Oh, no. Okay, so isn't this weird, you guys? Yesterday, before the Super Bowl, at age 79, we were just covering that, right? An Ohio House of Representatives guy died, William G. I mean, I just find it kind of funny. I reckon 56 and 79 are peas in a pod, you guys. You know, Anthony Fauci, that good little Jesuit that everybody should trust because the pandemic's so 1,000% legitimate. You see how his name's 56 and 187 like Society of Jesus? In fact, look at all 4 base ciphers. Watch what happens when I write Washington, D.C. Notice how nothing changes. Anthony Fauci, the exact same in every cipher as Washington, D.C. He went to Holy Cross, Jesuit school. But Anthony Fauci's got the good little 56, and the pandemic was declared on his 79th day, being 79 years old. Do you think that's a coincidence? Anyway, William G. Batchelder III dies the day before the Super Bowl at 79, December 19th birthday. God, that means he died on his 56th day of his age, you guys. Look at that. If you can't do the math, here, I'll do it. Here for the calculator, will do it for us. December 19th, 2021 he died yesterday. He died on his 56th day of his age. Isn't it funny how I just got done talking about these numbers, and then I'm like, here, let's just check to see what's in there. What do you know? An Ohio politician. The only thing that surprises me is he was the 101st speaker. Actually, that could work because that's the 26th prime. Shout out to Martin. Martin last year won $500 on the coin toss. Last year, Martin put $500 down that it was going to be heads on the coin toss because the count was for all-time Super Bowls. Last year was the 101st season. If you guys have read the first chapter in my book, like Martin has, Letters and Numbers, which you can download for free. The first chapter is about the code of 26, why there's a 26-letter alphabet, how it connects the language, Kabbalah, human anatomy, the 2600-year cycle of the stars, astrology, and more. It's if you want to know why the alphabet's 26 letters, you got to read chapter 1 of my first book, Letters and Numbers. Totally free to download, or you can buy it if you want to support the work. Thank you to people who are willing to invest $5 in the 800-page book I wrote. You know, if you invest $5 and download the other one for free, I'd appreciate that. There's 1,200 pages of hard work there. If you've never written 1,200 pages of book material, trust me, it doesn't come easy. But anyway, the reason he took heads and put 500 on it last year is because it was the 101st season, and heads had been called 25 times in Super Bowl, so he was really filling the 26th time. And, it's wild. It's just things like this, you guys. I mean, it's so many things. You see how skeleton's 101 in the most simple cipher? Bones is 26, and there's 206 bones in an adult human body. 101. These numbers come together in so many ways. And it's like the word teach is 26. When you started a class, it's 101, right? There's so many things. But you know how they say the body's the temple? Again, modern Freemasonry was created by the Jesuit order. Look at how Masonic temple is 206. 206 bones in the human body. Bone thugs. Hooking up with Tupac and the Super Bowl that's all about the Queen. And remember, the Queen became the Queen on February 6th. Their coronation was June 2nd. Both days can be 2662. Head ref 62's working the field. Either Sean McVay's getting his 62nd win today, the Rams coach, or the Bengals are becoming 6-2 at home versus the Rams. And if the Bengals do beat the Rams today, the ref that's on the field, they come into the game, the Bengals are 6-3 with that ref on the field. They're 6-3. They could become 7-3 with number 62 on the field. If the The Rams is trickier because the Rams are 6-5 with that ref as a head ref, and if they lost, they'd be 6-6, like Cincinnati 66, first Super Bowl in the 66 season, NFL 66 in Jewish Gematria, 11th triangular number. But you could also make an argument for them to become 7-5 because Cincinnati Bengals is 75. But yeah, something tells me that this guy right here, he didn't die by accident. By the way, since right now the heads has now been called 26 times, that means tails has been called 29 times. So next year is, if they really are rigging, like I gotta tell you, I wouldn't bet on the coin toss, but Martin was filling it last year. If they don't call heads this year and it's tails, there could be something about that because it's the year of the tiger and tigers have tails. And what's interesting is it would become 26 heads and 30 tails, like 263. 263 is the 56th prime. Maybe they go tails this year. Rams is 30. Remember the Rams beat the Bucks to become 3-0 versus the Bucks in the playoffs on a 30-yard field goal? That was funny. They went down the field in 2 plays. They couldn't score it all and move the ball in the second half, and then 2 wide open passes to Cooper Kupp in the WWE NFL. But I was going to say, if they really are scripting the heads and tails, next year's the 103rd season, which is the 27th prime. So would that be the right year for the 27th heads? We'll see. Just remember, if they call tails today, they might be doing something with this. But, oh my God. Look at the guy they killed, man. Wasn't I just telling you about 191? Society of Jesus 191. It's the 43rd prime. Football is also 43. You see how his name's like 133 as well? Football. 43, 133. The guy who was announced dead before the last Bengals went in the conference championship, the guy from the radio show about Cincinnati, who always wore the Black Death metal band, and then the last black starting quarterback died. He died in a big 133-43 ritual. But I'm telling you guys, we just start looking right away. That caught my eye. Okay, Ohio politician, dead the day before the Super Bowl. At least he got to live to 79. Some of these people get sacrificed a lot younger. Could have been 29. Could have been like Chris Henry. Whew. Frank Beckham. American broadcaster. We just got to see where he's from. God, he's from Detroit, Michigan. Super Bowl 16 was in Detroit. Stafford came over. Doesn't it kind of remind you of Odell Beckham? He's dead at 72. Jesuit Order 72. I see, this is suspicious to me. They got a picture of him out on the football field. He died today, the day of the Super Bowl. Well, Wikipedia is saying he died today. That's suspicious to me. Michigan, Detroit. I'm telling you guys, they sacrifice a lot of people for these games. I remember back when I was in school, they used to teach us about how those crazy Aztecs would sacrifice a lot of people for their sports games for the king. Well, this one's all synced up with the royal family this year. Couldn't be any more clear. King soon to be. He died November 3rd. Let's think about that. November 3rd. That's the day, leaving 58 days left in the year. If you count November 3rd, you could also say it leaves a total of 59 days. Oh my, he died, oh, come on, man. He died 102 days after his birthday. Come on, it's the 102nd NFL season. Come on. Detroit, Stafford, Super Bowl 16 in the Pontiac Metrodome. You think these people kick the bucket naturally? I think these people are part of the body bag count that happens every year. Irish-born British comedy director dead at 44. That could or could not be Super Bowl. Anytime somebody dies at 44, that's the kill number. You always got to look into that one. Who else died? Hey, a drummer who got to live to 80. That's pretty impressive if you're a drummer. Drummer's usually the first one to go in the band. It's because drummer equals death. If you've ever seen Spinal Tap, there's a joke about that. I'm just scanning if any of these other ones look like they could be related to the football season. A Georgian footballer, that's the other country, but there's that Stafford thing. He's dead at 84, like Jesuits 84. Let me just check the birthday. September 1st, that's the day leaving 121 days left in the year. He died 163 days after his birth, or excuse me, 121 plus 42. Yeah, he died 163 days after his birthday. That's the 38th prime. Death is 38, just like drummer. Yeah, he was older, but that's a familiar pattern right there. Brazilian football player dead at 75 against Cincinnati Bengals. Again, it's the New World Order, you guys. When I do videos on these, I tend to focus on the ones that are easier for people to wrap their mind around, like an Ohio politician. This guy died 96 days after his birthday. Cincinnati's 96. Again, just makes you wonder. He died 96 days after his birthday at 75. Cincinnati's 96. Cincinnati Bengals is 75. Or hold on. Am I doing that right? Let me make sure I'm doing that right. Sometimes my head math gets screwed up. Let's see. Oh, I'm tripping. My math was off. He died 87 days after his birthday. 87. Well, we talked about that, number 2. Yeah, 45 days left in the year, 42nd day of the year. Definitely 87. Lula. His nickname equals 46 in the most simple cipher, like his year of birth. 62 and 26, like Queen. Queen, right? And Queen Elizabeth II's 87, dead 87 days after the birthday. Yeah, there's some things that are interesting there. But yeah, there'll probably be some much more obvious ones. These two guys, though, the one on the Michigan football field and the Ohio politician, I'm pretty sure that they were definitely for the game. And just watch. I mean, every year they do some real obvious ones. A coach dies, a former player dies. A lot of times it's the day of the game. Remember a few years ago, a player supposedly was ran over in the early hours before the Super Bowl. They said he was standing along the freeway and got ran over. It's like, what? I mean, NFL player just out hanging out in the middle of the night, standing on the side of the freeway. What kind of story is that? It might have been 4 or 5 years ago now. It was at Indianapolis Colt, if I remember right. And back then I wasn't on the 201 thing when it happened, but that's the 201 city. Big Jesuit number. Okay. Anyway, if you guys got here late, you might want to rewind it. We started with the main topic, and then we got tangential like we always do, but something tells me that little part of Tupac at the beginning of the Bone song, from Cleveland to L.A., was part of the script for this Super Bowl all along. All right, good. We're still streaming. So anyway, guys, if you want my gambling advice, if you guys are into the gambling thing, again, sign up for the Patreon. I'm going to be doing the live stream of the entire Super Bowl today, but go watch it was a long stream yesterday because I took calls, so it ended up being over 4 hours long. You probably don't want to watch the whole thing, or if you do, put it on like 0.15 speed and watch it in 2 hours time. But you don't have to watch the whole thing because I go through all the main nuggets and the betting advice and how you can potentially lay down a $5 bill and win 100 today, a few different ways to do it. And again, that's my favorite way to gamble. Personally, even though we've murdered futures, I personally, gambling's not my favorite thing. My favorite way to bet is small bets with big payouts. That's the way I can have some fun with gambling without making myself too anxious. Some people got better nerves for gambling. Gambling's not my favorite thing. But again, laying down a $5 bill to win 100, that's the way I like to do it. And if you want some tips on that, sign up for the Patreon, support the community. Before you know, we'll be on March Madness. Last year, we murdered March Madness. I mean, we hit on so many big upsets, and we do it year after year. And again, I'm going to start doing the NBA again. I'm not going to do it every day like I used to, but we're going to get back into the NBA, college basketball. Somebody out there's like, get back into NHL, Zach. I miss you doing the NHL. Might get back into the NHL a little bit. Somebody's like, Zach, do international football. I'll start doing international football when I find the good website like Pro Football Reference to do international football. I don't know what website that is, and I don't follow international football at all. But anyway, good luck, you guys. If you got here late, rewind the stream, take it from the top. And if you want to join us on Patreon, and by the way, just so you know, it's $5 to get the betting information and all the content on my Patreon. But you only got to pledge $1 if you want to join us for the live stream of the game. It's only $1. It's patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. And here, I'll put it on the screen real quick. But it's also linked in the description, so it's not hard to find. And again, you only got to pledge $1 if you want to join us for the live stream of the game. And understand, you're not going to be watching on the screen and seeing the actual football game. I can't live stream the actual game on the screen. They'd shut down the stream for copyright. So if you want to follow my live stream, you're going to be, you can have it going through your phone or whatever. You'll hear the audio. What I will have up on the screen is like the ESPN Gamecast, which is helpful because you can look at the distance of the plays and laugh at how scripted it was. But again, the idea is you're watching the game and I'm doing the audio call. And keep in mind, because I have to watch it through my computer to do this. The computer broadcast is about 20 seconds behind like the cable broadcast. So my audio call will probably be a little bit behind the and I'll let you know at the beginning of the game so you'll be like, okay, he's just now seeing that. Here's what happened on my screen. But it's just like last year. So, and what's funny is I don't even have cable here, so no matter where I watch the game in the house, it's going to be 20 seconds behind the cable broadcast. But yeah, join us if you want to, and we'll see what happens. Is Burrow the new Brady? And keep an eye on this, you guys. Again, Burrow was drafted on his 136th day of his age, the 16th triangular. Patrick Mahomes laid down for him last week while the score was 21-3, like the Super Bowl date, on his 136th day of his age. And again, I just want to show you something real quick. Let me close some windows here before I open it up and kill my computer again. Actually, hold on. I want that Memphis thing. Hold on. I just want to show you Joe Burrow's Instagram. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Let's see. All right, he's still sitting on 135 posts, right? And his last post was, him in the black jersey that he's going to be wearing. And for his caption, he said, "Coming soon to a screen near you," like it's a movie, right? Because it is. It's a script, And I doubt these guys even manage their own Instagram. Like, I doubt he wrote out that phrase. Probably all stage managed. But just keep in mind, if he does win and become the new Joe Montana, number 16, who won 16 playoff games, who beat the Bengals in Super Bowl 16. Again, Joe Burrow's going for his 16th career win in this game, and 136. His next Instagram post could be as, the champion. We'll see what it is. But he's got it right there encoded in the Gematria. Coming soon to a screen near you. 136. So we'll see. 2.6 million followers at the time of the Super Bowl, that old Queen number. Amazing. I got to take a screenshot of that. We like to document it all. Big tech with the scripted numbers. Rig Sports with the scripted rituals. Anyway, we'll leave it there for now, you guys. Thanks to everyone who hit the like and the share. Thanks to everyone who supports the Patreon. I really wish there were 1 million out of you that would pledge $1. If you guys don't understand why you guys should all be supporting my work, you must have missed what I did last Monday down at the mass shooting scene. That's why I need all you guys supporting so that I can hire a team of 100 people. We could have took over that place. I need an army of supporters. I need an army of GematriaEffectNews employees. Could change the world last Monday if I had 100 more of me. But we're on our way. Until next time, True Seeker.